Ladies and gentlemen, golf fans around the world, it is finally Ryder Cup week, and the excitement could not be any higher. Bethpage Black, one of the most demanding and iconic courses in America, is the stage for the 2025 edition of one of the greatest spectacles in all of sports. This is not just another tournament. This is the Ryder Cup, where national pride, nerves of steel, and golf history collide. Today, we turn our attention to Wednesday's practice rounds, where both Team USA and Team Europe fine-tune their games before the opening ceremonies. While the real drama begins on Friday, practice rounds often give us a sneak peek at pairings, strategies, and the kind of energy each team is bringing into battle. So buckle up, because we are diving deep into the details of who teed it up today, what it might mean, and why fans are already buzzing about the showdown at Bethpage. On Monday and Tuesday, the U.S. squad had the course mostly to themselves, using those first 2 days to settle into the demanding layout and to figure out how Bethpage Black is playing under tournament conditions. For those unfamiliar, this is not your average golf course. It is long, narrow, and punishing, with rough that can swallow golf balls whole and greens that test even the steadiest nerves. But Wednesday was a different story, because Team Europe was also out on the course for the second time this week, creating an atmosphere that already felt like a mini Ryder Cup showdown. You could sense the competitive juices flowing, even though technically these were just practice rounds. The galleries were larger, the media was watching closely, and every swing was analyzed for potential insights into what captains Luke Donald and Zach Johnson might be planning. As we head closer to the opening ceremonies and the start of official play, these practice rounds serve as both preparation and a psychological preview. Who looks confident? Who seems loose? Who's building chemistry with whom? These are the storylines that will carry into the matches themselves. For Team USA, the question is whether their depth and star power can deliver under pressure. The question is whether their mix of youth and experience can blend seamlessly into another classic Ryder Cup run. Wednesday gave us some hints, but also left plenty of mystery, which is exactly how the captains want it. So, golf fans, that wraps up Wednesday's practice report from Bethpage Black. Both sides looked sharp. Both sides looked energized, and both sides showed flashes of why this Ryder Cup could be one of the most competitive in history. From McIlroy's focus to Scheffler's calm, from Rahm's fire to DeChambeau's power, the stage is set. Practice is over. Almost all the talking is done, and soon the real drama begins. The Ryder Cup has always been about more than just golf. It's about pride, passion, and unforgettable moments. And judging from what we saw today, Bethpage Black 2025 is ready to deliver all of that and more. Let's start with the United States team groupings. At 9:45 a.m. Eastern Time, a powerhouse foursome headed out from the first tee. Bryson DeChambeau, Ben Griffin, Justin Thomas, and Cameron Young. That's a fascinating mix of styles and personalities. DeChambeau brings the raw power. Thomas is the emotional spark. Young has that fearless edge, and Griffin adds steadiness. Watching how they interacted gave fans plenty to think about. Could this mean potential pairings in foursomes or fourballs? Or was it just a way to spread different skill sets across the practice session? Either way, they looked sharp and the energy was high. At 10 a.m., the second American group teed off. Harris English, Russell Henley, Scottie Scheffler, and J.J. Spaun. This group in particular drew a lot of eyes because of one name, Scottie Scheffler. The world number one is the cornerstone of Team USA, and seeing him alongside English, Henley, and Spaun was interesting. It suggested that the American captain wanted to build chemistry between Scheffler and steady, reliable players who thrive under pressure. At 10:15 a.m., the third U.S. group hit the course. Sam Burns, Patrick Cantlay, Colin Morikawa, and Xander Schauffele. Now this is a grouping loaded with Ryder Cup pedigree and potential partnerships. Cantlay and Shoffley, of course, are almost inseparable when it comes to team events, with a chemistry that has delivered big wins before. Morikawa, with his laser-like irons, fits perfectly into almost any format. Burns, meanwhile, is one of the streakiest putters in golf, and if he catches fire, he can be nearly unstoppable. This group drew huge crowds and sparked plenty of speculation that Cantlay, Shoffley could once again anchor Team USA's foursome sessions. Now let's switch over to Team Europe, which brought plenty of firepower of its own. At 9:30 a.m. from the 10th tee, Tyrrell Hatton, Shane Lowry, Jon Rahm, and Sepp Straka headed out. This group had fans buzzing, especially because of Rahm, the emotional heartbeat of Team Europe and one of the best players in the world. Lowry brings grit and Ryder Cup passion. Hatton brings that fiery edge, and Straka offers a cool, steady presence. The chemistry looked strong, with Rahm and Lowry chatting constantly, and Hatton keeping the group loose with his trademark humor. It felt like this group could easily be split into pairs that balance emotion and consistency. At 9:45 a.m., the second European group featured Matt Fitzpatrick, Victor Hovland, Robert McIntyre, and Rory McIlroy. What a lineup that was. McIlroy, of course, is the face of Team Europe, and he looked locked in during practice. Hovland, fresh off a season where his ball striking dazzled week after week, seemed at ease. Fitzpatrick, who has improved his Ryder Cup record in recent years, showed sharp iron play. And McIntyre, the left-hander from Scotland, was soaking up every moment, clearly relishing his role on one of the biggest stages in golf. Fans were particularly interested in seeing how Rory and Hovland gelled, as that could be a pairing with fireworks written all over it. At 10 a.m., the final European group teed off. Ludvig Åberg, Tommy Fleetwood, Rasmus Højgaard, and Justin Rose. This was another fascinating mix of youth and experience. Åberg, the young Swedish sensation, has been the talk of the golf world with his rapid rise. Pairing him with a steady veteran like Rose could be a masterstroke. Fleetwood, with his flowing swing and calm demeanor, is always a fan favorite, while Højgaard brings youthful fearlessness. Watching this group, you couldn't help but feel the blend of Europe's future and its experienced backbone. They looked comfortable, confident, and very much ready to contribute. What makes these practice rounds so compelling is not just the golf itself, but the body language, the interactions, and the hints of strategy. Captains are watching closely, trying to gauge who has chemistry, who thrives under pressure, and who might need extra support. Fans are doing the same. Every high five, every bit of laughter, and every intense conversation between teammates is scrutinized. The Ryder Cup is unique in that individual stars must come together as teams, and the practice rounds are where those bonds are tested and strengthened. Bethpage Black, of course, adds another layer of drama. Known for its famous warning sign that tells golfers the course is only recommended for highly skilled players, it is a beast of a layout. Narrow fairways, deep bunkers, and punishing rough will make every shot a test. Add in the notoriously passionate New York crowds, and you have a recipe for intensity unlike anywhere else. Players know that the atmosphere here will be electric, and even during Wednesday's practice rounds, you could hear chants, cheers, and plenty of energy from the galleries. Fans were treating these practice sessions almost like competition, and the players seemed to feed off it.